This video is not for kids. Go do your homework.
Let's talk about the new American Girl collab with Something Navy. Before we get started, don't forget I have a new Patreon at patreon.com/idreamofjohnny. There's a ton of extra bonus content there, so I would love it if you would join me and help support this channel even further. Alright, for real now, on with the show. Alright, so full disclosure, I don't know a lot about women's fashion. I have never heard of Something Navy before, other than when I, caught wind that this collab was going to happen. I am just going to talk about the doll clothes today because they did release a small line of children's fashion to go with this. But again, I don't know anything about kids or children's fashion or anything, so we're going to ignore that completely, and we're just talking about doll stuff today. The first thing we're going to look at is the Blooms of Blue dress for 18-inch dolls. This is actually my favorite look from this collaboration. If you don't know my personal tastes already, I like things to be really simple, clean line, nothing too like frilly, extra trims and all that stuff. I like a really clean silhouette with a very like simple patterns or solid colors and stuff, and this really fits the bill for me. I'm actually kind of tempted to get this look because I think like if you did like a modern version of Kirsten, for instance, I think this dress would look great on Kirsten because it kind of reminds me a little bit of her historical look, like the original Pioneer dress for her meet outfit. And this to me is like granny chic. I really, really love this pattern. It looks like something that I would put on the wall of like a powder room or something, like in a nice pretty wallpaper. I really do like this look a lot. Again, there's not a whole lot to talk about it because it's just sort of a simple A-line dress with a puff sleeve, but I do think it will be popular because it's only $16, which I think is, for like American Girl, that's a really good price. I think they will sell a lot of these, and I think it will pair well actually with the Janie and Jack collection that was released previously. Was that last winter? I don't even remember anymore. But yeah, if you have a lot of the Janie and Jack collection, I think this piece will go well with it, as will like a lot of this stuff, because again, there was a lot of navy in that collection as well. So yeah, like I said, there's not a ton to say about this look other than I actually really like it, and I think it's my favorite from this entire collection. One little nitpick I have for it is where the sleeves again, I don't know fashion anatomy, but where the elastic is in the sleeves, I wish they could have done something a little bit more hidden. I don't know, to me that looks like an unfinished sort of edge on that. So that would be maybe my one note, is maybe like where the collar and the sleeves, and I think maybe something a little bit more refined there. But again, the dress is $16, so I feel like you probably can't ask for much more than this. So again, I really love this look and I am kind of tempted to buy it. Are you enjoying the video so far? Be sure to hit the subscribe button and join me on my doll collecting adventures. Alright, back to the show. Next is the Blooms of Blue outfit for the Bitty Baby line. Really, I don't have anything extra to say about this. This is more or less the same dress, just cut differently so it fits Bitty Baby dolls a bit better. What I will say is I really wish they had made like a quote-unquote boy version of this outfit, because I haven't followed Bitty Baby closely all throughout the years, but I do know in the very beginning when they launched it as Our New Baby by Pleasant Company in 1990, I think it was 1990. They did outfits for both boys and girls, so you basically would get a doll that didn't have a gender, and then they would just sell like a boy version and a girl version of each outfit. And I think they still do that for some of their collection as far as the outfits go. So I really wish they had done a boy outfit for this, and even for the 18-inch dolls, because they still have boy dolls in their Truly Me line. I feel like that's something that they're continuing to offer and will continue to have. So I think it would have been so great if we could have had a pair of shorts in this style, like with this, I think it's called Blooms of Blue, did I say? This floral print, like just as a pair of shorts, would look so cool with like a navy t-shirt or a navy stripe, like a navy and white striped t-shirt. That would have been a good look for, I guess, I'm talking more 18-inch dolls now. I think that would have looked so good on either like a girl doll or boy doll or whatever. So it would have been really great if we could have had a gender neutral look with this stuff, because I definitely would have bought it if I could have gotten a pair of shorts in this pattern. But back to the Bitty Baby, again, not a whole lot extra to say. It's got a glittery gold pair of shoes and a navy bow to go around the doll's head. A really good look, and I think this will be popular. I do kind of wish this shoes were maybe more like a navy color. I don't know if a velvet would be appropriate for summer, but maybe instead of gold shoes, because they seem a little bit like out from left field. I feel like if they had been navy to kind of tie in with the rest of the outfit, that's probably what I would have picked, especially if they could have done it in like a fuzzy, like a navy, or maybe even like a linen kind of thing. Maybe that'd be more a summer kind of look. But yeah, I probably would have done navy shoes instead of gold for this. But all in all, a really great look. Next is the stripes and sparkles shirt and pants set for 18-inch dolls. This is the look that I think is going to be the most popular from this line, just because it has more of a unique look to it compared to other outfits that American Girl has has sold in the past. I really think those pants are super interesting looking, and some of you have probably seen these pants before if you really follow American Girl closely, because one of the factories actually sold a pair of these on eBay a few months back, I think it is now. So yeah, that was a little bit of hot gossip from the American Girl world, but now we finally have an official look at these, and I think they look really great, especially on the doll. These probably have an official name. I don't know what you call this. I want to say culottes. That's probably not right, but basically big baggy pants. So yeah, I think they look really great. I love the kind of flared leg on them. I think it's very different for an American Girl doll, and it's more of a grown-up look, I would say personally, especially with like the big puffy sleeves and the like glittery, I don't know, this is very nautical looking, I think. And again, perfect for summer, and navy never goes out of style. So I think this is a really good look. And yeah, again, I don't have a lot negative to say about this. They've got, in this photo that I'm showing here, I'm going to show it on the doll. I don't know the doll numbers, but I'm going to show it on the brunette doll, because they have another photo on there with the doll that has like the cotton candy colored hair, and I don't think it looks that good with this outfit. So there's an extra accessory set that you can purchase, and I believe it's a purse, a sequin bow, a scrunchie, and then I think you can buy the gold shoes in addition. Again, they're similar to the Bitty Baby shoes. I think these shoes are a little bit weird, but maybe in the context of like the entire line, it makes more sense. But again, I even think these shoes would have looked better in sort of like a soft pink that sort of matches the scrunchie. I'm not a fan of the glittery gold for this collection. I think it's a little bit showy. But yeah, not much to say about the hair pieces. They're cute. I actually think the scrunchie would look great on Courtney. It looks like it would go with her collection really well. So that's an added bonus if you end up getting this. The purse, again, I think is a little weird. I think it's very grown up. It's not that it's ugly, but to me, that looks like something, you know, somebody that might be on the older side would wear. I don't know a lot about this stuff, but I just can't envision a 9-year-old carrying around a purse that looks like this. This looks something more like you would buy for an adult. And the chain, again, kind of flimsy looking. The purse, I have to say, this accessory set really isn't my favorite, but you know, I'm sure kids will love it. It's not that I hate it. I just think it's a little strange. But again, I'm a complete idiot when it comes to fashion, so what do I know? But yeah, back to the outfit itself. I think this is actually a really great look. I actually like the sequins on the collar on this look, even though I don't like every use of sequins for this, because I do kind of like how casual this is. But I definitely see this girl like taking a trip to Paris and then talking about how she's from New York and she's like better than everybody. And she's the kind of girl that like won't drink Starbucks because that's very like passé bourgeois. But yeah, I like this outfit, and I think it's going to be popular with adult collectors. Next is the pastel pink outfit for 18-inch dolls. This is actually the look I think is going to be the most popular for children. It just has that look. It's very like frilly frou-frou with bows and tulle, and looks like a long tutu. I think this aesthetic is really, really popular with young children, so I definitely think that this will sell a lot. It reminds me of some of the looks that we saw in the collaboration with Love Shack Fancy. It was taking me a second to remember the name of that brand. But again, this is not something I personally love a lot, because, you know, I like things, like I said before, that are more muted color palettes, streamlined, you know, I don't know what to say. Like, yeah, so personally, this is not my aesthetic. I was going to say, like, it's kind of childish looking, but obviously that's right on the money if you're selling, you know, 18-inch dolls to 9-year-olds. So I do think this will be really popular, even though I think it's like sort of a common look. But, you know, every fashion line or every toy line, you know, when you're releasing stuff to the masses, you're going to have pieces in there that you think are going to be like a surefire bet, that are going to be like really profitable looks. And I think this is what this is. I think that they will sell a lot of these because kids will love it. So on that note, I think it's a great design. Again, to my personal taste, no, but I really do think kids will love it. I really wish they had picked a different color than these gold shoes. I'm seeing these gold shoes on every outfit and they look super weird to me. I wish they had done like navy or pink shoes. But it does look like this is actually separate. So you have like the option of like splitting the top away from the skirt. And I think that's really cool. I think, you know, especially like if you paired, I'd have to see it. Maybe there's some pictures in here, but I actually think that this pink top with a little bow on it would look really cute with the flared navy pants we just looked at. So you know, anytime American Girl does like a mix and match look, I really, really love that, because I've really been a fan of Courtney, especially over the last several months after getting almost her entire collection. And I just think it adds so much play value for children. And even if you're an adult that displays dolls, it's a really great way to sort of change up your collection and your display by, you know, it gives you some opportunity to like quote unquote play with your dolls. So Yeah, I really love anytime they do a mix and match. And it looks like you can have a few different options if you buy different looks from this set. So I do love that about this collection. And yeah, nothing in this collection is too terribly funky. So I think a lot of it will pair with other things that you might have as far as mix and match goes for your dolls. So yeah, I could see buying this set just for that t-shirt alone. I think it is really cool. And finally, we have the perfectly pink trench and the perfectly pink boots for 18-inch dolls. These are so cute. This, again, like anytime I see a raincoat for a doll, I'm immediately going to think of Molly McIntyre because her original like yellow raincoat and hat with the red galoshes, to me, that's one of the most like iconic early looks for Pleasant Company. And I think it was really popular. So yeah, I just love seeing a raincoat in an American Girl collection because it's such a classic look for an American Girl doll, I feel like. And this one looks like it has a bit of a spin on it too. It looks like the vent that goes across the back actually wraps around the front, like on the right side of the doll. So that kind of gives it a little bit of an updated look. So, you know, it's not just your typical like raincoat that you see everywhere. It's got like a bit of a fashion twist to it, which I think is really fun, especially if your kid is showing interest in fashion design. I think all those little extra details kind of spark imagination and creativity. So I think that's really cool. I will say, I think maybe buckles would have been a more interesting look for closures on this. I think the buttons are a little bit strange. I don't know. If you disagree with me, let me know. But I do think that maybe like navy buttons, even if they were going to do the plastic buttons, I feel like this would have been a good opportunity for some navy buttons just to kind of tie it in with the rest of the collection. But I really do think this will be a popular look. Again, it's super cute. It functions as a basic. Again, yeah, I think this will be popular. And I think paired with those little galoshes, I think it is such a cute look. So I'm looking at a photo here where they've got it on the doll with a blooms and blue dress. So she's got the galoshes. I mean, you're looking at it here on the screen. So, you know, looking at all this stuff together, I think it's really cute. And it's still, despite like being a raincoat, it's very summery looking. I think it's interesting they decided to release a raincoat for summer, but you know, it can transition into fall, so we love that. But yeah, I stand by my critique of those buttons should have been at least a navy color. If they weren't going to be buckles, I really think they should have picked navy buttons for that. I think it would have tied the whole thing together. Oh, can you imagine if they had put an umbrella with this set too that was maybe in the blooms and blue pattern? So instead of just doing another like the pink vinyl for the umbrella, I think having an umbrella with like one of those patterns on it would have been so pretty. Again, I know these collections are limited, so I'm sure they have done one large run of these and when they sell out, they're gone forever. But I do think an umbrella with a pattern on it like that blooms and blue would have been really cool for this collection. I wish they had done that. But yeah, all in all, I think this was a really great release. I love that it has a lot of pink in it because I personally love pink, but I think they were really smart in making things in this collection that weren't so heavily pink focused, because I know that there are a lot of not only kids but also adults, because I've heard from many of you that really just have an aversion to the color pink. So I know it would have been really frustrating had this collection come out. Again, I think, was it Love Shack Fancy that came out last summer? I believe it was. Like, that was their big summer collab that they did, and the entire thing was pink. So if you didn't like pink, you were sort of like not going to get any of that stuff from that collection. But with what was released today, I feel like you have a really good mix, like half and half of like pink and blue. So if you really don't like pink, you can still get some new looks for summer for your doll. So I think that's really great. And I have to say, even though I love pink a lot, I actually prefer like the navy looks from this collection a lot more. I just think they're a little bit more sophisticated, which I've seen American Girl sort of shifting their design focus a little bit more towards like a slightly older child. And you know, they've got all the market research to know like the age groups that are playing with their dolls and buying their dolls. So they might be finding that children are you know, I wouldn't assume this, but they might find that there are children that are playing with dolls a little bit older, like past. Again, I don't know for sure. I just know in my experience, I lost interest in dolls, you know, around the age, I would say around 8 or 9 years old. But I've heard from so many adults that say that they really had dolls up until they were like teenagers, basically. So they might be, if nothing else, experimenting to figure out if they can sell some more looks for dolls that maybe look a little less cutesy and a little more sophisticated. And, you know, I guess that's how it always is, right? Kids are always wanting to act older and seem older and stuff. So this is probably a good move on their part. I really am so curious to see how looks like the ones with the flared pants and the striped shirt sell, because I think that's a fairly sophisticated look for American Girl, but it might be wildly popular, again, because I think kids are more connected than they've ever been, and I think that they might be more interested in more like adult looking fashion. So I'm really curious to see where this goes. I do think this is a great collection, and so I hope it does well for them, and I can't wait to see people's looks when they finally start getting this in hand and dressing their dolls with all these new pieces. So yeah, super exciting. I can't wait to see it. That's all for today's review. I hope you had fun with me today. I always love talking about new releases, whether or not I'm going to buy them. I follow follow American Girl super closely, and I love seeing the different changes in direction the brand is taking. And, you know, we've been seeing a lot of changes. So yeah, this was really fun to talk about today. I'm so thankful that you were able to hang out with me today. If you want to hang out with me even more, don't forget I have a Patreon at patreon.com/idreamofjohnny. There are a lot of extra perks on my Patreon channel. You get discounts on my doll shop. I'm making an effort to upload an exclusive video every single week to Patreon, and I've been really good for the last several weeks. So if you're a member of the Patreon, you're getting an additional video every week. And most of the time it's me like spilling the hot gossip and things that, you know, I just don't feel comfortable talking about on YouTube, you know, completely. So there's been some juicy videos on there. So definitely check it out if you haven't already. You might feel like it's worth the $3. And again, it's a really great way of helping support this channel. The more support I have, the more videos I get to make and the more full-time I get to do this. So I really appreciate all the extra support. If you want even more doll content, be sure to follow me on TikTok and Instagram at idreamofjohnny. And until next time, please take care of yourself and I will see you real soon. Bye for now.